Hey everybody, today on Everything Lead, we're going to just go through all the baby bottles I was able to get off of Amazon in the spring of 2024. So I'm going to use this Niton XL5 XRF instrument from 2018. It uses a tube to generate x-rays which go into the material. They bounce back some x-ray light, and if they bounce off of lead atoms, they'll be able to show us, amongst other things. You can see that they detect a wide variety of elements. For example, this one is the first one, Dr. Brown. So I'm going to scan all these for 5 seconds, which is partially because I'm starving. The other reason is because these guns are super accurate. So this one picked up 6 lead, zinc, iron, some other stuff. But lead under 90 really isn't a big issue, or I would say any issue. I mean, the Consumer Product Safety Commission centered on 90 as like an obtainable amount of lead that could be in products. So this Hiva bottle came out at 84, which is under the limit of 90. And there's actually a crazy loophole with this 90 limit, which is that they don't just count the paint on the outside, they count the entire bottle. They actually blend up the whole bottle, they freeze it solid with liquid nitrogen, and then they break it up into a million little pieces. That one was negative for lead, the NUC. But previous models of NUC bottles have had lead. But this one is the all glass, white only, no decorations. That's lead free, or had a very small amount. I can't remember. So this Nature Sutton bottle had 7. Check this Bibs one. So this enables bottles that have actually quite a lot of lead on the exterior to just pass because they technically meet the requirements. So this Bibs bottle came out at 62 plus or minus 13. But this one was actually recommended by a breastfeeding expert that I know, so you may want to use that one for its benefits. Although I have to say I don't know too much about it. I can't remember personally. So this Bobo bottle has 29 parts per million lead, which is under the limit. But down there I have another Bobo. That one has a different color and design, and that one is one of the most dangerous I've found. So you can see that there's a few different numbers on here. Here's the Phillips Avant, which is a very popular bottle. This number is the amount of lead that it finds, and this is the standard deviation of the error, really. So it's 33 plus or minus 10. So it could be 23, it could be 43, but it's generally somewhere around the middle. And that number goes down the longer you scan it. But I'm just trying to put out this information on any platform that people might find it, because I know that lead is a really concerning topic, and it causes a lot of people a lot of stress. So just knowing about it though is very helpful in alleviating that stress. So here's the Hakia bottle, 22 plus or minus 12. And this is another very popular one. When I made my first video on this topic, a lot of people requested this one. This is the Gilacola bottle. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but so this one, plus or minus 2 on a 6 reading, which is really low. But you'll see in a minute if there is really no lead, as in 0 lead there, as in these plastic bottles, which I've never seen a modern plastic bottle contain any lead, or lead paint for that matter. It actually does read 0. And this one, the Tommy Tippy, is truly lead free on my gun. I'm going to do this Mam bottle. Make sure I have the thing centered on it. So this is also really lead free. Only found iron, which kind of makes sense because this is kind of a rust color. So these elements are used in different oxidation states and different salt forms to provide color. And I think in the case of lead, it may be used as a colorant, but it's also used as something that fixes everything in place. Lead's really easy to melt down or mix around, and it's pretty sticky, kind of, if that makes sense. So this is a potato brand, and it has 38 plus or minus 3. I have another potato down there that has lead, but it is a different style. And this one I think is the highest lead, if I remember correctly, of any of these bottles, but it still is probably under the limit. I'm actually just going to scan this one twice. So this is a smaller Hiva bottle. It has 71 plus or minus 20, but I'm going to scan just the glass, and we'll see if it's in the glass or if it's actually in the outside surface paint. And it does look like it's in the paint because I'm not getting any just in the glass. So just in the glass of this bottle, it has no lead, but the paint has a little bit. And then we'll just quickly blast through all these too. These are the plastic bottles, which I really don't think need to be scanned. If you have a plastic bottle, you can safely assume that you have no lead whatsoever. And you'll see how bottles that actually contain significant amounts of lead show up right away. So this one is nothing going on there. This one I'm going to scan twice because there are two obvious different colors, but I'm sure we will not find any lead. Well, this one actually has 6. 6 plus or minus, 7 plus or minus 3 in that color. So I stand corrected. I mean, but that seems more like contamination rather than intentional inclusion, which is definitely some of these, they intentionally put lead in there. It's not like a mistake. They just did it because, I wouldn't say the bottle manufacturers did it. It's probably the people who sell the paint to the people who sell the paint to the bottle manufacturers. So in this one, this yellow part has 7, which is really low and shouldn't be of concern. And this one is negative. The Komotomo bottle is a silicone bottle with no markings on it, and I'm getting a negative reading on this one. And we're almost down into the lead-bearing bottles, so this one negative for Komotomo. This even flow bottle is a plastic bottle, but it's very popular. I know a lot of people like to avoid plastics, although now the plastic is pretty safe. I think it's like all plastics that will be used with human use have no BPAs, which are a hormone disrupting chemical. So even flow, for all you who use this, there's no lead in that, although there may be some microplastics released, but I know that microplastics, while they're probably not healthy, are kind of hard to avoid at this point, and they don't cause any cognitive impairments, which is really what I'm worried about in children and lead. So this Spectra bottle has 4 parts per million lead, which is really low and really shouldn't be of any concern. So now I'm going to get into the glass bottles that contain lead. We're going to start off with this. The brand is FDBL. I don't know what that stands for, but it stands for having a lot of lead because it has 3876, so 3,876 parts per million lead. And that's just in the paint there. Again, this potato bottle has around 21,000 parts per million lead. And what's interesting, if you just do the glass, like it's not actually in the glass. The glass appears to be lead-free or nearly lead-free, but it has 4 plus or minus 2 parts per million in the glass. The Comey bottle is 28, 27. So that's this one. This pigeon bottle, I tested it twice. I bought 2 different batches. One had lead, one had no lead. But I think that it's probably better to avoid this brand if you want to avoid lead, because I mean you could in theory get a bottle that has lead. This Bobo is the larger size and has a design on it. And it has quite a lot, 10,000, almost 11,000 parts per million. I'm going to do this other color just to see. And that one has some less lead in that one. And let's even do the label. And you remember that this logo on the other bottle was negative. But when we test this one, we see that this one comes out at around 600 61 with plus or minus 19. So this entire batch, like the entire painting, is all contain lead. So I'm going to do this Simba bottle. We'll start off with the logo in the center. It's reading around 14,000. And then we're going to do the pink part. And I'm not going to do this for all three. But this pink part contains significantly less, only around 1,100 parts per million lead. But really it's like, and then I'll just do these flowers over here just to show that like some parts of this design are so lead contaminated. These are probably this one, and I mean they're all terrible. I'm not going to rank them in terms of which particular lead containing baby bottle is more dangerous or less dangerous, because they really are all equally dangerous. Not really, but it's just not worth ranking them. So this one too has 4,000. Test this one. This one has less, but I bet you if I just do another part, you can see that there's a ton in this one. And then we got this one too. So this one I'm not sure about. I mean, it has lead, obviously, but it is also coated in silicone. So I don't know if the lead is on the outside or if it's on the inside, or exactly where the deal is with this one. But I'll just test like another spot on it. I mean, definitely enough lead to be concerned about it. And then finally we have this one. This one I bought a couple of times, and it does always have lead, so something to watch out for in this one. And so yeah, so those are all the bottles that contain lead. I just wanted to thank you guys for watching. Just wanted to show you a little bit of something interesting. Like, so these bottles actually contain so much lead that a chemical test works on them. And this is one that I designed. I also sell this. You can get it on detectlead.com. You can see I already detected it on this FDBTL bottle, but I'll do it again right here. And when the chemical touches the lettering, it actually will glow. So this one will glow too, probably. Yeah, there we go. You can see that it just reacts with it right away and just causes it to just glow. And that's because there's a chemical in here based on methylamine salt, which reacts with the lead. It pulls it into a crystal structure that reacts with this ultraviolet light to give this green color. It's really sensitive. It could even detect lead that's not necessarily dangerous, but all lead is really best avoided, certainly for babies and children. Nobody needs lead in their lives, but children need that even less. And you can see this one is actually really coming off. And this one came off a decent amount too, the Bobo bottle, but I think I already made it glow too much, as you can see on these others too. So this one, I'm not sure if the lead is on the outside or not, but I would just avoid it if possible. And this one really is pretty risky. So again, thanks for watching. Don't shine the light in your eyes, and test for lead. It's also could be found in, elements in your house. For example, right behind me, I have this window. And a lot of times on older windows, you'll find that there is lead on them. And you can find this by just sticking the flashlight on there and waiting for a color change. You can see that I detected it already, kind of all over right here again. You got a reaction. So thanks for watching, and check out detectlead.com if you want to learn some more about lead, or if you want to pick up one of these bottles. We can ship them out starting next week. And if you want to learn more about the whole process and what I've been doing, just trying to spread awareness and then get this product on the market so I can get it to everybody who might need it. And that's at Eric Everything Led on Instagram. So thanks for watching and have a nice, safe day.